Welcome to Fabulously Flawed, where the perfectly imperfect come to shine. Marni, along with her sensational sidekick, Taylor, are the mother-daughter duo that puts the fun in dysfunction. Every episode, we unpack the chaos of mental health while sprinkling in the sass of pop culture. We're here to share stories, laughs, and lessons to remind you to embrace your quirks and never, ever let anyone dull your sparkle. So join us as we celebrate the beauty of being fabulously flawed. Let's get real, let's get raw, and let's get ready to add a little extra shimmer to your day.
Hey, fabulous friends. Welcome to Fabulously Flawed. I am your host, Marni, and joining me is my dazzling, delicious, delightful.
I know it now.
God, daughter Taylor.
Oh, I've got it down, baby.
Oh my God, I need to look up de-adjectives. Siri.
Yeah, next episode, guys, we're going to have a new assortment of de-adjectives.
Oh my gosh, everybody.
Stay tuned.
No, I hope there are listeners right now that are like saying it along with us, that they listen.
Yeah, that they know that dazzling, delicious, delightful.
I love it. This episode is ending the stigma. Ending the stigma,
Yes.
ending the silence.
Yes.
Oh, I can't take it. I know my mission in life is to tell people it's okay not to be okay. You don't have to be ashamed of it. And the more we talk about our mental health, it becomes conversational. The way you talk about when you broke your leg, you went to the doctor. You know, it's what you do.
The same thing as my mind is broken. I need to go see a therapist. I need to go see a psychiatrist.
Tay.
Oh my God. I will shout it from the rooftops.
Well, yeah,
my
you were
mind
born-
is very damaged.
I am so sorry because you were born behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
That you were in utero. I was just trembling of tears for circumstances. Read about it in my book, True to Myself, Peace, Love, Marni. There was an affair, a baby. Read it. It is fascinating. But you in utero experienced
I know.
it. So,
Straight from the womb, out of the womb, into the world, I was doomed. Yes.
I remember rocking you,
very
crying,
much so.
like I'm holding you, giving your bottle, going, "It's okay, it'll be okay."
I know.
Giving you your little bottle.
I know.
And I'm so sorry.
Please, it's okay.
Maybe that's
Sometimes
why-
I blame Dad.
That's
too.
true. It takes 2 to tango.
Oh, it does take 2 to tango. But yeah, I am so happy. Honestly, like.
Is it because you're on medication now?
Yes, that too, for sure. No, I was going to say, thank you. The pills are working. The drugs are working. No.
I couldn't take it anymore.
I know.
Okay.
No, I was saying I'm so happy that I am so free to talk about my mental health. Like, I love that I am so not afraid to talk about my anxiety, depression, OCD.
You go, girl. You speak mama's language.
And I'm so lucky and fortunate that I am not hindered by the stigma surrounding mental health, because there are so many millions
upon millions
of individuals who are still ashamed to admit that their mind isn't working the way they want it to. And I feel sad for them because talking about it is healing.
So healing.
And I just wish people would just get over that hump. And guys, like, if you are one of those people who you realize, something's not right with me, I'm sad, I'm anxious, I don't want to do this.
The circumstances of typical behavior being sad, you studied, you didn't get a good grade, but when it gets to another level where you notice the symptoms of severity.
Exactly. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I just think that, like, it may seem so scary to start talking about it, but once you start, you're not going to want to stop.
It heals you.
Because it heals you. Yes, every time I say this, and I'll say it again, podcasting and talking about these issues is
the most therapeutical thing for us to do.
Helpful for me because I'm talking about it, and the more I talk about it, I hear what I'm saying, and it programs in my brain.
Yep.
And I'm just grateful.
I love that
I have this outlet,
this platform.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It took me a long time for me when I first to get my shit together and to heal. And life has been healing up down for the past
it's not
4
a
or 5
linear
years.
process.
Oh gosh,
it never
no.
will.
I'll always be in the moment and mindful of what's going on and what triggers me and what to avoid. But I remember when I first wrote my book. Then now I'm sitting here reading it. And I'm re-traumatized by what could have been. Why did this happen? And this was before anybody talked about mental health, any awareness within our family. And I was on the floor, hysterical, crying, banging my head against the floor, I think. And everybody, and you guys were like, look at you, you're an animal.
Yes,
because
I would look at you with such shame. Like, what are you doing? Get off the bathroom floor. Look at this beautiful home you live in.
Oh,
look
God. I know it's cringy that we're thinking that,
look at your closet full of clothes, the food on the table. Why are you so sad and depressed? You have a husband who works and provides for you. That's what I thought. I would shame
and that's
her.
what everybody, I think, thinks.
I would look at you like, what do you have to be so depressed about? You have this fabulous life.
Oh, talk about kicking me emotionally when I'm down.
That is an example, folks, of something to never ever do. And I don't even regret it because
you had to learn.
I had to learn exactly. And now the thought of saying it wouldn't even cross my mind.
It's not even in our world, our country.
And going off of that topic of, necessarily having things, materialistic things, doesn't change anything. And I want to say this because Dorothy Wang, she is literally
obsessed.
A Chinese, like an heiress to a billionaire. Yeah. I mean, she is wealthy, lives this. On social media, you would think Dorothy Wang has this perfect life, her apartments, this luxurious life. She is one of the only celebrities, or public figures, I should say, that I follow on Instagram that post affirmations daily.
Her and Khloe
Kardashian.
Yep.
Two wealthy. You would think that what do they have to be sad about? And I just want to say that depression, anxiety, all of those feelings do not discriminate.
Oh, there's no race, color, gender.
Oh, not at all. And that's why when I had the thought process of what does my mom have to be so fucking depressed about? She has this sick life. No. No. The old saying, money doesn't buy happiness. It's just so true.
You can't,
and I just want to remind people of that.
It's true because we were away for Thanksgiving before my book even came out, right when I got the original copy before it even went out.
Yeah.
And we were in the most gorgeous place in Vail, the Ritz-Carlton, overlooking the gondola for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Oh, it was Beaver Creek.
It was Beaver Creek. It was magnificent.
Oh, yeah. It was a luxury ski resort.
I wanted to die.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And we'll talk about why in other episodes. So then it's great. You can have a Jaguar. And the only difference is that you're crying in a nicer car than a car. Oh. There's no difference of the pain.
No difference.
We were in a penthouse.
Yeah.
Gee, I spend more time crying on the bathroom floor than looking at the beautiful view.
Yeah.
So material things don't make people happy. I look and I have been envious, never jealous, when I look at families. Do you know how rich that is to have aunts, uncle, cousins, Uncle Jim, Uncle Donnie, Uncle this one?
Yeah.
Like Bree's family.
Yeah.
They have family, and I have never had that. My family, for listening, like whatever aunt and uncle I had, I legit was a girl as a teenager with nowhere to live, and none of my relatives wanted to help me. So I guess I talk the walk the walk, talk the talk, and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. So I've never had family. So to me, I'm envious of people when I see like every family.
Because they have people to lean on.
And I'm like, can I have a stocking at your house? I've been asking Bree and her family since she's a little girl. Like this year, our stocking is going to be there.
They would happily take us in, of course.
My whole life.
Yeah. And they had that automatic support system, which you lacked.
Here's something. Life. It's, going back to people talking. I am so grateful that the first time on the news we heard a parent got convicted for because they knew their son was fucked up. The kid said, I'm fucked up, help me. And the parents gave him a gun. The kid was begging for help. Yeah. He wanted help, but the parents put their head in the sand like ostriches, like most people.
They were definitely embarrassed that their son had issues, didn't want anyone knowing that he was a psychopath, because that is a mental illness. And then look what happened. A tragedy. And I'm so glad, yes, she was convicted.
Yep, for the first time.
Good. She is just as responsible as the one who did the actual act.
These mass murders and everything, that they're all the same typical 18 to whatever, that same demographic.
Yeah.
It's the parent's fucking responsibility for never getting those kids help.
Absolutely.
So
that is another, I mean, we could get really deep into this subject, which I don't want to do.
I want to go on
now.
like CNN and talk to someone. Like that is the one thing that I could debate across the board and win is
it's that a lot of tragedies will say that could be prevented with mental health care. And there is the lack of mental health care because the stigma surrounding mental health, parents and children, I'm sure, but it's the parents that are ashamed that they don't want to have a quote unquote mentally ill child.
And there's nothing wrong.
Because they're scared of what people would think.
Okay.
Please get over yourself. If you are a parent and that is you and you know your child is suffering and you're worried about people's opinions, shame on you and get them help.
Yeah, because who cares what people think? They don't pay your bills.
Yeah.
I legit want to, when you just said scream from the rooftops, let's go to like a Miami rooftop somewhere, bring our podcast and legit scream from the rooftops. Anybody else have anxiety? Woo! Who doesn't?
It's just, I want to normalize it.
I want to make people smile. I want to make people laugh because I was just 50 years old during COVID. And now I spent years healing in the past 3-4 years in the dark healing, and now
healed
about
so much in these past few years.
But you know what? Gosh. It's like I woke up and now I'm almost Studio 54.
I know.
You know, it's like what happened to 51, 52, 50? It was just a blur to me. I've been healing.
I know.
But it shouldn't have to take me in my 50s. I mean, I look at when I was talking about how I would cry you, I would rock you to sleep and I would start crying because I was so sad. I missed out on that full moment of you.
I know. And you know what? Yeah, it may have taken you until your early 50s
but it was meant
heal,
to be.
But it's better now than never, baby.
I believe the people who are meant to hear my message were not ready up until now.
Oh, absolutely.
So the universe connected us in a way that whoever's meant to hear my message.
And me too. I'm so happy that I'm in a place now where I'm just talking about mental illness. I'm so comfortable with it. I literally on a first date, I'm like, so I'm anxious, my OCD, my ADHD, I've been depressed. Like I am just like, to me, it's just the same as talking about your favorite coffee.
Oh, it's like, what do you want for dinner? And oh God, I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah, no, literally.
In our family though, seriously, no joking, like everyone was very dramatic and always having, I'm having a nervous breakdown. I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Wait, and we have video of Bubby with the hand on her forehead going, like in the dramatic way.
I know. We just always, my lineage is
you were just
mentally ill, severely mentally ill.
But glamorous because my grandmother's sister, Aunt Eleanor, she was actually a model, an actress in Hollywood in the 1940s. And she had her makeup done by Max Factor, not the brand, but Max Factor.
Oh, like
yes, him, the one Max MAX Factor. When you go buy the stuff, the brand.
Yes.
He was the one who did. I had her headshot for years. I can't find it, but she died of suicide.
Yeah, and
it's genetic and circumstance, but I think sometimes I connect with Aunt Eleanor.
Right. Of course it's depression, genetic and circumstantial. Absolutely.
But you know what's so weird about genetic? Also on my father's side, who I was named after in Hebrew, which we're the most non-religious people on the planet.
Right,
so I don't know who came up with that that moment. But he was a burlesque performer, and he was 5 feet tall and 333 pounds. He was like a box. Yes. 333, of course. Yeah. And then
our lucky number.
I know. Yeah. It's remarkable how just synchronicity, numerology and stuff, and just trusting the universe. When a message comes to me and I look at the time, it's 10:10. What was I thinking about? Every time I see 10:10.
Speaking of the universe thing, I have been telling my friends lately that I literally need to get the phrase, everything happens for a reason, and what's meant to be will never pass you by, tattooed on my body, on my face. So every time I look at myself, I'm reminded of that.
All you have to do is look at me. I'm right here.
I know.
Like, pick a year.
I don't need a tattoo on my face to remind me.
Pick a year, and I could tell you what could have happened. If everybody's listening, and think of the one person that you met in your life in the most random places, whether it was a college roommate, a neighbor, a coworker. It was like you both happened to have gotten that job. You both happened to have been in the same class. Abigail happened to have been friends with Taylor Swift. But would you look back and if life had panned out any other way, it wouldn't have happened?
No, and I love that that example that you always give me when I think back of like, if this wouldn't happen, this wouldn't have happened, is when I lost SGA president or whatever. I ran for vice president.
Grateful.
And like freshman year of high school.
Wait, let me give a little summary. Taylor never lost anything.
Yeah.
You were the head dreidel. in the preschool show during Hanukkah. You were always...
And as I grew up, I would always run for student government,
president of Honor Society,
and I won, and I'd win. And I think people got sick of me
by
winning.
high school. Yeah.
Oh, I have, people hate me in high school. That's fine, because I'm so awesome. That's why. Not because I was a mean girl.
Because you were so fabulous,
so different
and
and unique and different. And anyway, I lost, and had I won, I would have never been in newspaper and met Sammy and Zoe, and then I met Rachel and Emma, just whatever. I made really amazing friends.
Can I just say that Sammy Roberts was your pledger, or what was it called when you got to the sorority?
She
wasn't she the one who presented you to...
Oh, you mean like rushed me?
Yeah.
She was.
But she ended up being your best friend in a sorority when she was the one that announced, guess what, you got in. Don't they give you like envelopes or something?
Yeah. No, she didn't announce it, but she was, whatever. She was involved in recruitment, and she kind of gave me a heads up. She's like, you're going to be
I thought they do a whole big ceremony and they attach someone to you.
No. It's just you're in a room full of girls and you open the envelope without anyone from the sororities. It's just the room full of girls rushing.
I'm in just Kappa Kappa Goldman.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, so it was just an example of, had I won a student government race, I wouldn't have been in newspaper and met some awesome people and
your life changed.
Advanced my skills in journalism, where I went and got a degree in PR. So it all works out, in the end.
But one thing I want to say going back, I think a parent, if you're listening, I hope we have all ages listening, tell your child, I am so happy that you're talking to me. Talk to your children.
Yes.
If you notice, I'm just going to give a couple examples. If you notice the typical behaviors, like I said before, you study for a test, you get a bad grade, it's normal, typical to be upset. There's no such thing as normal.
Right, I like
but
that
when
word,
someone
typical.
takes it to an extreme, pay attention. You cannot just say typical teenagers. Be observant if they're not eating, if they're eating more, eating less.
Staying home more often, coming out of their room way less than they normally would.
Wearing the hoodie.
I think that as a parent, the second that you decide to conceive a child, from there on then, you need to be committed to their well-being for the rest of their life, because it is up to you to make sure that your child grows up happy and healthy.
You have to advocate for them.
And you have to make sure that you make it a top priority, that you are a safe space for your child to talk to,
with no
because
shame.
that will make all the difference in the world.
I've heard,
just like you make sure they eat their vegetables, you make sure they talk to you about your mind.
Yep.
Because comes down to that and how that child is raised. And you raised me that it is okay to talk to you about anything. And look at where I am now. I'm able to get on a microphone and tell the world about my issues, and that it's okay to be depressed. It's okay to have anxiety. And it all stemmed from you, from the parent. So
I feel like we're
say
Forrest
that.
and Jenny right now in Washington, when he was speaking.
And I just...
Jenny!
And for those of my... I know. Love you. We're holding hands. Yeah. Those of you in your 20s and 30s, if you still feel like your parents aren't that safe space, go to them. Tell them you want them to be there for you. And
if they're not, there's another person.
Yes. Of course, it doesn't have... No, of course not. It doesn't have to be your parents. I'm just saying, if it can be and you want them to be, tell them.
When I was growing up until right now, years old, there were never apps. There were never podcasts to tell me, are you suffering? I would have been out there going, looking around like, if this world, but it wasn't supposed to be. I was chosen to go through everything to be a healer.
You grew up in a time where being mentally ill was so, we looked at them and they were crazy.
But even when you watch TV, it's still, you're going to a shrink, or I'm not, don't tell me I'm crazy, because the terminology.
Yes.
And every time on the motherfucking news, and excuse my language, I'm sorry, somebody is arrested for a crime. Well, they were mentally ill. And I want to scream from the top of my lungs, they weren't just mentally ill. They were untreated, not under a psychiatric care,
and I blame
or medicated.
Society for putting the stigma. It all comes down to the stigma around mental illness.
It's like, shut up.
And I will say, it has gotten every year. The conversation around mental health has grown, has expanded. Are we near where we need to be? No, not at all. But beggars can't be choosers.
That's true.
And I am happy that there is more of a conversation on the news, on social media, and it has now, it's almost on TikTok especially, it's almost become a trend to be depressed, which is a good thing, but it's also, I feel like it discredits true
like Doreen
depression.
PTSD.
Like when when it's like, I think there needs to be more of an understanding, which all just comes from conversation. People learn from conversation. I just think the conversation needs to
Because when I talk about it, people are like, oh my God, you too? Oh my God, you too? I'm like, when I hear people, I'm like, Mel Robbins, who is like my mentor, I love her. She is the only other person I know that was diagnosed at 47 with ADHD. And she said she has empowered me to, why do you care what people think? Why are you stuck? If you're thinking I want to do this, like she just is me.
Yeah.
And I listen to her, and it's like so comforting to know I'm not alone.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I love when other people hear me. They go, wait, you also couldn't be without your lashes, or you too couldn't be without your Velcro rollers at one time. Everything with me has to do with glam.
Yeah, I know.
Nothing says books, vitamins.
I know.
Healthy.
I'm listening, and all of your stories and your anecdotes, they all have something to do with like makeup or your physical
You know
appearance.
what? As I'm listening to myself, wow, we could really peel the layer back on that.
Oh, Mom, we don't need to. We know why you're talking like that. You're obsessed with the way you look. We go back to because you were raised that what's on the outside is more important than the inside.
You could be
were
the
raised
nastiest fucking bitch, but if you look good, welcome to our table.
Yes.
But if you were frizzy and heavy, it didn't matter what you were going through. Sorry.
I mean, that's just horrible.
That's why I love families. That's why when you look at a picture and you could presume what you want. Oh, they have the best life. They had a great moment. Click, and then they walk away. And
please, guys, I just have to say,
don't.
If you are one of those that go on people's social media and you're like, damn, I'm jealous of them, please never, ever say those words. What are you
jealous of? Because they took a picture with like 3 other girls?
I can guarantee you, every person, you could have $1 billion in the bank or $1 in the bank. You could still be sad, and you could very much still be sad. And so
there's such blessings in life. Exactly.
I don't want anyone to compare themselves. Back to the, maybe you're not feeling yourself and you're ashamed of what people think. Caring what people think will hold you back in life forever. You will never grow as a person. You will never reach your full potential and do what you are meant to do and what you want to do if you care what other people think.
Absolutely.
I stopped caring back in high school. Guys, for those of you who know me, you know how fucking wacky I was and unique, and it was, yeah, as if I'm not, yeah. I didn't give a shit what people said about me, and I was unapologetically myself.
Yep, you always
and
have
I was happy, and the people that wanted to gravitate towards me did. So whatever. Now I'm meant, the people that are meant to be in my life are there,
and you know what people are for. It's like a lot of people get disappointed. Hope is another word for disappointment.
Oh, that's my favorite thing you say.
Even with friendships. Now, you think, okay, we're friends. They're my best friend. I can tell them everything. No. They are your friend when you want to laugh. And these are my friends when I want to go walking. And these are my friends when I dance.
Yeah.
And these are my friends at the library. But you know your role. And how can I say this? To not set yourself up for disappointment.
Right.
Understand with friends that they are there. And don't be disappointed if you're not invited somewhere, or understand where... I guess it just comes to self-love is what I'm trying to say.
I know. I think everything sort of comes down to loving yourself and knowing that you deserve what's best for you. So do what's best for you.
It's funny when,
go talk to that therapist, that friend, that counselor at school, that the local librarian who you find comfort in speaking to.
And if you're a parent, be that advocate for your child.
Yes.
Make a meeting with the school. I want to talk to the guidance counselor. Maybe little Joey's not doing great because he's sitting in the back and talking to little Yenta Susie. So maybe if he moves up front, he'll be, his his grades will improve. He won't be talking. He won't be distracted. Reach out to the school, because teachers don't even know what the hell's going on with these kids.
And you have to remember, as a teacher, they try their best, but it's hard when you have a room full of 20, 30 kids. And so it's just... Parents, it's really your responsibility. Just like you make sure your kid goes to the doctor for a checkup, take them to,
when it comes to talking about self-love is something that I've preached to you forever. We have never been jealous of other women or girls. Whenever we're out, I'm the first one to say, is that your ass naturally, or do you do squats?
Yeah.
Because it's perfect. And they're like, what? You're so nice.
You have so much confidence too. And guys, it's about loving yourself. When you love yourself and you're happy, you spread that happiness and joy into the world. That's why you're so complimentive to other women, because you know how awesome and cool you are. So you're not intimidated. You're not
never intimidated. It's true. And I've always taught you that. And it's
like when I ran up on Las Olas, I took my little boots and I ran to that girl and wanted to tell her how cute her skirt was.
Remember we were at the Fontainebleau when I was at the bakery and that gorgeous model was there and I looked at her, I go, you are probably the most stunning, exquisite woman I've ever seen in my life. She was like a statue that just like walked into like Tyra Banks.
This is kind of back to our episode we did yesterday or 2 days ago, spread kindness like confetti.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I'm piggybacking on that.
And I think that in which everything with the conversation with mental health, everything just intertwines, overlaps. And I'm just being kind to a stranger and being
makes
that,
you
saying
feel good. It gives you
makes
endorphins.
them feel good, which
and us,
improves their mental health.
And us doing the compliment makes you feel good. So she looked at me and she goes, are you from here? Like, who are you? Are you an alien?
Because people from Miami are rude as fuck.
Well, she just said people, and her boyfriend was like, never one woman has ever complimented Janae or whatever her name was.
Because people don't love themselves.
Or like Jaja. She was
people
just,
are just,
And
rude.
I couldn't take my eyes off of her. I was just like, oh my gosh, are you stunning?
Yeah.
And I guess that's why I loved being an agent and being in the casting world, because I just love the authenticity of these people.
Right. Oh, and I do want to say, especially for men, because we did do an episode where we spoke heavily about men and their mental health.
Who should we interview? What dude should we interview? We got to figure out what celebrity
I have
or
a couple.
You do? That we could talk to?
I was, out with someone and they said that they had many issues and that I could interview them. So I would,
Actually,
reach
do you know
out
what
to him.
though? This is something that could mean something. And I want to talk to, I guess we have the ability that he also, your friend, went to Douglas. And a lot of his, I think, sadness stems from the shooting.
No, I'm sure. I would,
so I think if
have
he
a
could
deeper
talk
conversation with that. But I would absolutely love to have a guy who's in his 20s come in here, because you never see a guy in his 20s.
Can I just tell you
talking about his mental health?
Can I tell you where my head went right now? That's the same thing if I were to audition someone, like a character actor kid, 14 is so rare. Like that was what I was thinking of in my mind.
Yes. You know what, guys? Please know that we will have a guy, I don't know exactly who, but in his 20s on this podcast talking about his mental health, because I have a few people I could reach out to. And
he's going to be like, dude, of course I'm bummed. Of course I get depressed. Of course I get anxiety.
And I think it's so important to hear a guy's perspective, because we don't have the conversation surrounding men's mental health is so little compared to that of women.
Look how well this has worked out when you tell your kid to man up. Look how well that's worked to all the men out there.
Please never tell your spouse, your brother, your nephew, your whatever to man up. Please don't, because that's just that making them suppress their emotions, and things will go bad.
It's like telling someone who broke their leg, well, run. Run.
Well, run. Yep. That's exactly what it is. Telling someone who is not doing great in the head to just
get up and go.
Go take a walk. No, it's not just, no.
There was a meme.
There's not just a quick solution to mental illness.
It cracked me up. There was a meme.
It's a process.
Yep, during COVID, where someone said, just go outside, you'll feel better. And it showed the person in the mattress laying outside, get out of bed, go outside. So just put the bed outside.
I mean, it's
baby steps.
It's baby steps,
but
guys.
I don't
Now, taking a walk is something you can do, but it's not going to fix everything, or suppressing your emotions may make you feel good for 30 minutes, not talking about it, but then
it's like putting that ball underwater. What happens when you let go?
And I'm a victim of that too. I don't know if that's the right word, but
guilty of.
Thank you. I'm guilty of suppressing my emotions because I don't want to talk about it, and then I'll just start crying hysterically when I think about.
I have to be honest. I didn't talk to you like all day Saturday. I was like, okay, it's okay that you're icky right now, but respectfully, I don't want to be around the ickiness. So I protected my peace. It was okay that you were all pissy. I would never tell you don't be pissy. What I did for my healing was remove myself. Why am I going to argue with you?
Yeah.
Why are you going to be around that? You're clearly not in the great mood right now. My energies, I want to be in a happy bubble.
Yeah, for sure. So I just want to wrap up this with the message that parents, please
talk to your kids.
Just as much as you care about their physical health, care about their mental well-being, and those that are not parents and are listening to this, make your mental health a priority just as much as you make your stomach, your legs, your hands a priority. Your brain is more important. It's more important.
Everything
the most
stems from our
vital
mind.
part of your health.
I know that my leukemia diagnosis, was from a lifetime of unhealed trauma. But I think it's very important that because I am a certified presenter for NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness, and do our next episode on warning signs and risk factors for kids.
I think that's really important.
Because,
really important.
If somebody's saying, I would just want to kill myself, I don't belong here, I feel worthless, and saying that over and over again, pay attention. And there is 988. Think of it as someone just there for you, because most people just want someone to listen to them. It's anonymous. They are there 24/7. It's 911 for the mind, 988, 988.
And it's not just if you're feeling suicidal. It's
it could be across the board.
If you just got out, if your boyfriend of 5 years just broke up with you and you are feeling so depressed, call them.
Call them. They are there for that.
Yes, please. I've actually been wearing my 988 sweatshirt more out in public. I'm waiting for someone to come up to me and say, what's 988? I cannot wait to tell them. I'll talk their ear off.
When we go on the street and interview, we should wear it. And ask,
I know.
Or we can ask as a question, do you know what 988 is? Okay, so we're going to spread that message.
Yeah.
And also our store on Etsy, guys, affirmations, anything to make you smile.
Cute stuff. And it literally, it's not even, there is affirmations for sure, but it's not, if you're not into affirmations on clothes or anything, it's still just like cute, trendy designs and things that are relevant in pop culture and whatnot. So
it's Fabulously Flawed with 2ds.net on Etsy.
It'll take you right to our Etsy store.
Yeah. Exactly. So guys, I just hope everybody is sprinkling their kindness like confetti, smiling like sunshine.
And make it a goal to do one nice thing that you wouldn't normally do every single day.
Just one thing.
One thing.
That's all.
If you don't normally hold the door open for someone, hold it open. If you don't normally say hi, how are you? Say hello, how are you?
I'm thinking of that cutie Harry Styles right now. When you just said one thing, I was actually thinking of Brianna with One Direction with not one thing.
Yeah.
But just one thing, guys, and protect your peace. And the only one you have to love is you.
Yeah.
That's it. If you love you,
you'll love others.
You'll love others.
Yes.
But make yourself a priority, guys. And don't worry, because my message, and I will scream this from the Miami rooftops, it's okay not to be okay.
Hell yeah, sister.
Preach it. I love you so much, Tay. Guys, I love you all, you fabulous people. Until next time, sending so much love, so much peace.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Fabulously Flawed. Remember, we drop new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, so be sure to subscribe and never miss a moment of this dazzling duo. Craving more sparkle? Head over to fabulouslyflawed.com for exclusive content, episode archives, and more. And don't forget to check out Fabulously Flawed on Etsy for tons of amazing products that are sure to brighten your day. Be sure to follow us on socials to keep the conversation going and become a part of our Fabulously Flawed family. Until then, keep embracing your beautiful imperfections, and remember, never let anyone dull your sparkle.